hey, anybody from the spirit world, please come visit me. Common mistake, very common mistake. And then any old wandering Tom, Dick, or Harry just comes right in, and it may not even be someone you know. It works, it's true, it's real, and I didn't always know that this was real. It happened to me in church, and I was like, oh my God, I know who this is talking in my ear, asking me to deliver messages, and I did. And it was incredible, and it changed my life. I didn't always know that I could do such a thing. Okay, I know of psychics, and I believe in psychics, but those people are born that way. It must be a hand-me-down generational thing, or they're special, special, like chosen by God or something. And now I know that it's a frequency thing. We live in an energetic dimension. I was in church, and I was in the high vibe energy of spirit. I love the energy of church. I love the energy of God. I was open. My heart was expansive. And I heard the voice of my past loved one shouting and asking me to deliver messages. It blew me away. I delivered the messages, and then I cried my eyes out because it truly shattered belief systems. I was in a church that taught heaven and hell, and I believed very firmly that that was the case, okay? And that told me, my family's not in heaven. They're standing next to me in church. They're shouting in my ear. Like, what in the heck? How does all of this work? And I went down this rabbit hole of spirituality and what in the heck is this dimension really like? And I uncovered so much more than I ever thought possible. And any one of us can do this. You don't have to wait for it to happen to you. You can decide. You can decide to meditate, to spend some time alone with your higher self, with your past loved ones. But it starts with spending time alone first. Okay? You can't be like, okay, I have this super mega busy life, and I'm going to spend 15 minutes. Sounds like a really good time. I'm going to spend 15 minutes. Mom, grandma, anyone from heaven, where are you? Come sit. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to find out what you are like first, alone. So you've got to commit to spending time alone on purpose, to breathe and relax and just be at peace with yourself just for a moment. If you want to leave your problems outside of that space, please do. You're interjecting moments of peace into your day, and that will create a new baseline that includes lots of peaceful energy. You've got to sit with yourself alone for a while, just so you know what that's like. Just so you get comfortable with how you feel without this person in your ear or that person wanting something or the phone in the hand constantly. You're not the same person with your phone in your hand than you are with nothing else aside. Everything away and you alone with yourself and with God. You got to get that first. You got to get comfortable with that first. And then you invite in not anybody. Hey, anybody from the spirit world, please come visit me. Common mistake, very common mistake. And then any old wandering Tom, Dick, or Harry just comes right in, and it may not even be someone you know. Okay, so you decide who you want to connect with, and you decide to choose someone that you're not actively grieving, because that will shroud your perception of them, potentially. So someone that you're not actively grieving, someone that you maybe lost a while back and you've already moved through all of that, or someone that you weren't quite that close to, right? But that you do trust enough to invite into your auric space from the spirit world. And you ask that person in. Only that one person. I'm talking to my mom in the spirit world. Please come in and sit by me. And then you close your eyes and you settle in and breathe just like you do when you're just sitting alone with God, right? And you just imagine that your mom waltzes in and comes to sit next to you, and you allow that to be her energy that's present in your auric field and in your life. And then you notice what you notice. Maybe you hear her voice. Hey, sometimes it happens just like that. You hear the voice. Maybe you get a tone or a ringing in your ear. Someone's talking shit about me. What the heck? This has to go away, right? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Maybe someone's talking to you, okay? So you get a little tone or a buzzing. This happens at other times outside of meditation as well. It's a spiritual attunement, someone who's reaching to you from the spirit world with auditory communication. Verbal communication. Maybe you see something in your mind. Maybe you just see her in your mind's eye and you go, oh, I'm making that up because I know what she looks like. Okay, well, what if you are making it up? But what if you're not? And if you can't ever get past that hurdle, you're not going to be very successful at creating your own bridges of mediumship, because you won't really prove it to yourself that you're not making it up until either you read for other people, and there's no way in hell that you could possibly make that up, or until you recognize that your loved one in spirit surprises you with something. They remind you of something that you've long since forgotten. And you can test them in that way. Remind me of something. Share your favorite memory with me and let that come in. Don't try to grab it. Don't try to recreate what you think it might be. That's you and your thoughts and your thought processes. That's why you're spending time alone with God, to get rid of all that and recognize what you sound like. That way, when you're sitting with a loved one in spirit and you're trying to decipher what exactly is happening, going on inside, you know it's not your own, because you know what you're like. So they give you this memory and you go, oh my gosh, I've long forgot about that. Or maybe they say something or do something or make you laugh, okay? That will prove it to you. That takes a lot of energy within one person, okay? I'm going to create this other entity, this other voice, and then they're going to say something that surprises me so much that I laugh. Like, this is too much in the headspace. It proves it. Hello, beyond a doubt, that I'm actually having a two-way conversation here. And maybe it's not something that you see, and maybe it's not something that you hear. Maybe you have a knowingness that they're just present. And sometimes that's tough. Maybe you have a knowingness that they would hug you. Maybe you have a knowingness of what they would say. Allow that to be. And thank them for their visit, because if you ask, you know they show up. If anything's preventing them from showing up, it's you who's not perceiving them. So giving it more time and giving it more practice will allow yourself to perceive them more deeply. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe you get the chills. Whoo, that was different. Oh, Mom, are you here? Right? Maybe you get the chills or tingles. Maybe you get goosebumps. Maybe you get really hot all of a sudden, flushed really hot. Maybe you get a different sensation in your heart. Maybe your heart just opens up with love. Maybe you feel sudden sadness. Maybe suddenly you feel super sad or super grouchy. Was Mom a super sad or super grouchy person? Were the circumstances of her passing super sad that she would grieve herself? Is that what you're feeling as she comes in with you? You're sensing into the emotions that she may be sharing? Sensing into all of these things, that takes practice, guys. There's no science, there's no handbook. If there was, I'd have wrote it already and been rich. You know what I'm saying? It's something within you, and you've got to give it a shot and a try. And maybe you do. Maybe you give it a shot and a try and say, oh, Heidi, I gave it a shot, nothing happened. Well, did you try again? Try again, all right? Try again. And if you try once and you try twice and you try 3 times and nothing happens, okay? Maybe you're just not quite sensing what it is that's shifting yet. But something is definitely happening. You've asked your loved one in and they are there. They are present. So keep spending time, whether you sense it or not, whether you know it or not. Don't you want that? Don't you want that time? So let them spend that time with you. Even if you're not getting what you want from the connection, I'm telling you, the more you experience that, the deeper the communication will unfold and the communication will expand. Write down your notes. Take notes of when you sit with your loved one in spirit. Just one, pick one, so you can consistently see what happens with that one loved one that you trust. I know it can be very seductive to try to reach for any old one again, you know, or maybe you now, and maybe you now. And for the experienced practitioner, heck yeah, that's fine. But if you're just newly learning to communicate with your own loved ones in the spirit world, pick one person that you trust and are not actively grieving and connect with them multiple times over the course of several days and see what happens. Maybe in the first sitting, nothing happens. Maybe in the second sitting, nothing really happened except maybe my ear felt a little, like I had a little, I don't know, a pressure or a something, I don't know, right? And then in the third one, hey man, my ear did that weird pressure thing again, that's odd, right? And then I saw like a light or something, but it didn't really make sense, okay? And then maybe in the fourth one, you have that ear thing, right? Someone's trying to talk to you, get your attention. That light thing, you're seeing the aura, the orb as it's coming close to you, and it expands and it grows. And if you write these little things down that don't really make sense, they'll make sense later, okay? They will make sense later as you're building your psychic dictionary and the bridge of communication that you have with the spirit world. So good luck to everyone who's wanting to sit and connect with their past loved ones. I really hope that helps you.